So, we were just talking about all those New Year's resolutions, that festive cheer.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, this deep dive is going to help you actually make those resolutions stick this time.
That's a great goal. I think a lot of people could use a little help with that.
Definitely. This time we're going to dive into starting the new year with the right mindset, a guide to health, resilience, and growth.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. Getting that mindset right is so important for a fresh start.
Right. So the source, it really focuses on mindset, but
Yeah.
it starts with something kind of interesting, reflecting on the past year.
Yeah, taking stock. I like that.
Not just the good times either.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Like, why is it important to reflect on the whole year?
Well, it's interesting because both our wins and challenges, those are valuable lessons. It's like watching a game film after a match.
Uh-huh.
See what worked, what you can improve on, and then use that to strategize for the next time.
Right. So it's like identifying patterns, not just, like remembering.
Exactly. It's about taking stock of your inventory before you restock for the new year.
Exactly.
Yeah, see what worked, what didn't, and then use that knowledge to make good choices for the future.
Oh, I like that.
Mm.
Okay, so once we've reflected, the source moves on to something everybody's talking about this time of year. Goals.
Yep.
But, how many of us actually achieve them?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it?
That's where, this idea of SMART goals comes in.
SMART goals.
It sounds like a business buzzword, but I think it's really helpful.
Yeah.
So break it down for me. Like, I know it stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
Right.
But, like, how does that actually play out in real life?
So let's say your goal is to be healthier,
Okay.
which is a pretty common one, right? But that's vague.
Very vague.
A SMART goal would be something like, I will walk for 30 minutes 3 times a week for the next 3 months. You see how that's more concrete and actionable? You've got a specific activity, measurable target, it's achievable, relevant to your overall goal, and there's a time frame.
Yeah, so it's like having a roadmap instead of just like a vague destination.
Exactly, yeah.
That time-bound element is key, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Otherwise, it's too easy to just keep pushing it off.
Push it off forever.
Forever. This next part, I think, is where it gets really interesting for me.
Okay.
It's this power of gratitude, right? This source is saying that it can shift our focus from what we lack to what we have.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
The science backs it up.
Really?
Yeah. Regularly practicing gratitude, it can actually rewire our thinking patterns. Instead of focusing on what's missing, we start noticing the good things in our lives. It's like training your brain to spot the silver linings.
Ooh, I like that. So if someone, started each day by listing 3 things they're grateful for,
Yeah,
do you think that could actually impact their outlook?
absolutely. And it's not just about feeling good in the moment. Research shows gratitude can actually lead to better sleep, improved relationships, even increased resilience when facing challenges.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of resilience, the source mentions this other concept that I'm a big fan of, the growth mindset.
Oh, yeah, Carol Dweck.
Carol Dweck, yeah. It's this idea that our abilities, they're not fixed.
Right.
They can be developed through effort and
You're
dedication.
not stuck.
It's about embracing challenges as opportunities, not threats.
Totally. And you know what? This ties in perfectly with gratitude.
Oh, okay.
When you approach setbacks with a growth mindset, you're more likely to see those setbacks as valuable lessons.
Okay, yeah.
It's about focusing on what you can control, your effort, your strategies, and using those challenges to propel yourself forward.
So we've got our mindset sorted, right? We're reflecting on the past year. We're setting SMART goals. We're practicing gratitude. We're embracing the growth mindset.
We're doing good.
But now, how do we take care of our bodies and minds?
Yeah, the physical side of things.
What does the source say about that?
Well, it highlights several pillars of well-being: nutrition, exercise, sleep, mindfulness or meditation, and healthy relationships.
Okay.
They're all interconnected and crucial for our well-being. Can't really prioritize one without considering the others.
Okay, let's zoom in on one of those, sleep.
The sleep, yeah,
The source says consistent quality sleep is essential for everything,
for everything.
from memory and concentration to regulating our hormones and our immune function.
That's right.
But so many of us, we treat sleep like it's optional.
Yeah. Why do we do that?
Why do we do that? What do you think?
Well, I think it's partly cultural. We're kind of taught to glorify busyness
Mm.
and see sleep as, weakness or laziness.
Right.
But the science is clear. Chronic sleep deprivation.
Yeah.
It is really bad for our health, both physical and mental.
Yeah.
Increases our risk of chronic diseases, impairs our cognitive function, and even impacts our emotional well-being.
It's mind-blowing how something so simple, just getting enough sleep can have such a huge impact
Yeah.
on everything.
Huge impact. Yeah.
The source also mentions this other thing, the connection between our gut health and mental well-being.
Oh, the gut-brain connection.
Tell me more about that.
Right. So the gut microbiome, those trillions of bacteria that live in our digestive system,
Yeah.
they play a crucial role in everything, from digestion and nutrient absorption to immune function and brain health. It's a fascinating area of research. Scientists are really discovering a lot about the connection between the gut and the brain.
So like what we eat and how we take care of our gut, that can actually impact our mood and our thinking and our mental health.
It does, yeah. The source emphasizes the importance of a balanced diet, rich in fiber, fermented foods, and prebiotics, all to support that healthy gut microbiome.
So along with those SMART goals and gratitude lists, maybe we should add nourish my gut to our New Year's resolutions.
That's a great one.
It's a new year.
Yeah.
New gut. Let's be real, though, No year is perfect.
Yeah.
Everyone carries some baggage from the past. How does this source advise dealing with those hardships that might be holding us back?
That's a great question. And the source offers a multifaceted approach. It starts with acceptance,
Acceptance, okay.
acknowledging what happened, allowing ourselves to feel the emotions tied to it without judgment.
So not suppressing those feelings,
Exactly.
just letting them be.
Then comes forgiveness,
Forgiveness, yeah.
which can be tricky.
Very tricky.
It's important to remember that forgiveness isn't about condoning the actions of others.
Okay.
It's about freeing yourself from the burden of anger and resentment, letting go of the past so we can move forward.
Forgiveness can be really difficult, though, especially when we've been hurt.
Absolutely.
Does the source recommend any strategies to cultivate forgiveness?
It suggests things like journaling, meditation, or even talking to a therapist
Okay.
to work through those complex emotions. And sometimes professional help is really important to navigate past traumas and find true healing.
That's right. The source also talks about self-compassion, right?
Yes.
Self-compassion.
It's like that saying, you can't pour from an empty cup. We need to replenish ourselves.
That's such a powerful image.
Yeah.
And self-compassion is about treating ourselves with the same kindness and understanding we would offer a close friend.
Yeah.
This can be challenging, especially when we're struggling or feeling inadequate. But it's a crucial step in fostering self-worth and building resilience.
So acceptance, forgiveness, seeking support when needed, and practicing self-compassion. These are all essential to move beyond the past and create space for that fresh start.
Absolutely. And the source offers one more powerful tool for dealing with those lingering hardships, reframing challenges as opportunities for growth.
It's about turning stumbling blocks into stepping stones.
Yeah, exactly.
But how do we actually do that? Like, it's easy to say, but it's another thing to actually shift our perspective when we're in it. It is. The source suggests focusing on asking empowering questions instead of dwelling on the problem itself. So instead of, why me? Try, what can I learn from this? Or what's one small step I can take to move forward?
I love that. It's about reclaiming our agency, choosing to focus on solutions,
That's it.
not getting stuck in negativity.
Exactly. And you know what? Sometimes creating new traditions or rituals can also symbolize that moving forward and embracing a fresh start.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
A tangible action. Okay, we've covered a lot here. Setting the stage for success with the right mindset, prioritizing well-being, and even tackling those lingering hardships from the past.
We did a lot.
But now comes the real challenge. How do we actually make it all happen? How do we maintain momentum throughout the year and avoid falling back into old patterns?
Right. That's where the source's practical tips for sustained success come in, and that's what we'll dive into next.
It's fascinating how this source emphasizes that our environment, it can either, support or sabotage our goals. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So it's not just about thinking the right thoughts.
Yeah.
It's about setting up our surroundings
Exactly.
to make those healthy choices easier.
Exactly. It even mentions the study where simply moving a fruit bowl to eye level in a workplace cafeteria increased fruit consumption by like 20%.
Wow, really?
It's this concept called environmental design, and you can apply it to all sorts of goals.
That makes sense. If your goal is to exercise more, but your workout clothes are buried in a closet and your treadmill is gathering dust,
Yeah.
it's going to be that much harder to get started.
It's about reducing that friction, right?
Yeah.
Making it as easy as possible to engage in those healthy behaviors. So like if you want to cook more at home, maybe reorganize your kitchen, make those healthy ingredients more accessible.
Oh, I love that. Little nudges.
Little nudges.
Okay, the source also talks about something I think is really important. The company we keep.
The company we keep. Oh, yeah.
Makes sense that our social circles can influence our behavior.
Absolutely. They can have a huge impact on our mindset, our habits, ultimately our success. The source encourages us to be mindful of the energy we're allowing into our lives and seek out those relationships that uplift and inspire us.
So if you're trying to quit smoking, hanging out with a group of chain smokers is probably not going to help.
Probably not the best environment. It's
Yeah.
not about cutting people out of our lives. It's about being intentional with the influences we expose ourselves to. Find your tribe, the people who are on a similar path, support your growth, cheer you on.
I think it's fascinating how this idea of supportive environments can be applied to, like, all areas of our life.
Yeah.
Our physical spaces, our social circles, even our digital spaces.
Our digital spaces, that's a good point.
What we consume online, that can really shape our thoughts and behaviors too.
That's so true. It's like a natural extension of this whole concept, you know?
Yeah.
Curate your social media feeds, be mindful of the news you consume, even limiting screen time.
Yeah.
Those can all contribute to creating a supportive digital environment.
Like a digital detox for the new year.
I love that. A digital detox. Hit that reset button on those online habits that might be draining you.
Yes, exactly. Now, another crucial aspect,
Mm-hmm.
habits.
Habits, yes.
They can make or break our progress
Absolutely.
when it comes to those resolutions, right?
They can feel like these invisible forces shaping our lives, sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. The source emphasizes that our habits are essentially automated behaviors, you know?
Mm.
And that can have a huge impact on our success. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, what is it about habits?
Well, think about it. Habits free up mental energy because we don't have to consciously think about them.
Right.
They're just ingrained in our routine. So if we can cultivate those healthy habits,
Yeah.
they can just effortlessly guide us towards our goals.
Okay, but breaking bad habits, that can be tough.
It can be tough.
Any tips from the source?
Well, it emphasizes starting small. Instead of trying to change everything at once,
Right.
focus on one specific habit. Create a plan for replacing it with a more positive one. Break it down into manageable steps.
So instead of saying, I'm going from couch potato to marathon runner,
Right, overnight.
start with, okay, I'm going to commit to a 15-minute walk 3 times a week.
Exactly, yeah. And the source suggests strategies like habit stacking,
Habit snacking.
linking a new habit to an existing one. So, for example, if you want to start meditating, do it right after you brush your teeth each morning.
Oh, that's good. It's piggybacking,
Piggybacking, yeah.
on something you already do.
Exactly, something already established.
It reminds me of another thing that the source talks about, celebrating small wins. It sounds cheesy,
It does sound cheesy.
but it's really motivating.
It is, because it reinforces that positive behavior, helps solidify those new habits, creates a positive feedback loop to keep us going.
So instead of beating ourselves up for not being perfect,
Yes.
we give ourselves a high five for every step in the right direction.
Exactly. It's about progress, not perfection.
Progress, not perfection, yes. Okay, the source also talks about connecting with our why,
The why.
our purpose, that driving force behind those goals.
Why are we doing this? What do we hope to achieve? What will it bring to our lives?
Exactly. Taking some time to really think about that can be super powerful.
It can be.
Because when things get tough, as they inevitably will, that deeper sense of purpose will help us stay committed.
That's right. It's like having that guiding star, that North Star. So, listener, take a moment to think about your goals for this year. What's your why? What's the deeper meaning behind those aspirations?
Connecting with that purpose, it's like the fuel that keeps us going when our motivation starts to fade.
It is.
Okay, as we're wrapping up this part of our deep dive, I want to bring up one more thing from the source.
Self-care.
It's often seen as a luxury, but the source says it's essential
It is.
for achieving our goals and living a fulfilling life.
Not selfish at all. It's about recognizing that we can't pour from an empty cup. Prioritizing those activities that nourish our minds, bodies, and souls.
So what are some examples of self-care? Is it all bubble baths and face masks?
Well, it can be, but it's also much more than that. It could be reading a book, taking a walk in nature, spending time with loved ones, listening to music, or even just taking a few moments to breathe deeply and be present.
Tuning into our needs, giving ourselves permission to recharge.
Exactly. And the source reminds us that self-care is an ongoing practice,
Yeah.
not a one-time event. Integrating those small acts into our daily routines so we can show up for ourselves and for others.
Making ourselves a priority. Okay, we've covered a lot in this part. Creating supportive environments, the power of habits, connecting with our why, the importance of self-care. What else does the source offer to help make this new year truly transformative?
So we've talked about, setting ourselves up for success.
Right.
But, life rarely goes according to plan.
Never.
And that's where resilience comes in.
Okay, resilience. It's a bit of a buzzword these days.
It is.
But what does it actually look like, in practice?
Yeah.
The source, it defines resilience as the ability to adapt and cope in the face of challenges, right?
Right.
It's not about avoiding hardship.
Yeah.
It's about developing the skills to get through it.
Exactly. And the source makes this great point. Resilience isn't some fixed trait.
Okay.
It's something that we can cultivate
Oh, yeah.
and strengthen over time, like a muscle
Oh, like a muscle. Okay.
that gets stronger with each workout.
So how do we work out our resilience muscles?
Well, the source highlights the importance of reframing setbacks as opportunities for growth. So shift your perspective
Okay.
from why is this happening to me to what can I learn from this?
Again, sounds great in theory,
I know.
but when you're in it,
Yeah, it's hard.
it's tough.
It is.
Any practical tips for making that mental shift?
Yeah, the source suggests asking empowering questions instead of getting stuck in the problem. So instead of dwelling on the negative, try asking, what resources do I have to help me through this? Or what's one small step I can take right now to move forward?
I love that, like taking action, that proactive approach.
Exactly. And it also emphasizes leaning on your support system. Reach out to friends, family, mentors, even a therapist.
We don't have to go through it alone.
You don't have to.
And the source also mentions self-care, right?
Yes, especially when facing setbacks.
Why is that so important during those times?
When we're stressed, it's easy to neglect our own needs.
Yeah.
But that's when self-care is most crucial.
Okay.
It's about replenishing our energy so we can face those challenges.
It's like putting on your own oxygen mask first
Exactly.
before helping others.
You can't help anyone if you're running on empty. Another tool the source highlights, optimism.
Optimism. Easy to dismiss that as, naive
Right.
when we're dealing with real problems, but
Yeah.
I'm interested to hear what the source says.
The source makes a strong case for the benefits of a positive outlook.
Okay.
And it's not about ignoring the negative or pretending everything's perfect.
Right.
It's about choosing to focus on the potential for things to get better.
So it's not denying reality. It's about approaching it with like a sense of hope.
Exactly. And research shows optimism is linked to better physical and mental health, better coping skills.
Right.
And yeah, increased resilience.
So it's not just about feeling good. It's about being equipped to like really thrive
That's it.
when things get tough.
Yeah,
The source also touches on something I think is really connected to this, having a sense of purpose.
absolutely. It suggests that having a clear purpose can act like a guiding star, helping us stay committed to our goals.
Okay.
When we know why we're doing something, it's so much easier to persevere
Right.
and stay motivated even when it gets tough.
So it's about connecting to that deeper meaning
Yeah, that driving force.
behind what we're doing.
That's it. And the source encourages us to really reflect on our values, our passions, the things that really light us up.
Right, that spark.
Yeah.
Asking, what's my North Star? What's guiding me?
Yeah, use that to navigate the storms.
Love that. As we wrap up this deep dive into starting the new year with the right mindset, any final takeaways for our listeners?
Yeah, I think the biggest one from the source is progress, not perfection.
It's so simple, but so important, right?
It is.
We get caught up in that pressure to do everything perfectly and never make a mistake.
Yeah, which is unrealistic.
Totally unrealistic, and it actually holds us back.
It does.
Life is messy. We're going to stumble. We're going to fall short.
Yeah,
It's part of the process.
it is. It's about learning from those experiences, picking yourself up, and keep moving forward.
Give ourselves permission to be human,
Exactly,
to
man.
be imperfect.
A work in progress.
Always a work in progress.
Every step forward, no matter how small, is progress.
So celebrate those wins.
Yes.
Embrace the challenges and never give up
Never give up.
on becoming the best versions of ourselves.
Well said. And with that, we want to wish all of our listeners a very happy, healthy, and resilient new year.
Yes.
May it be filled with purpose, progress, and a whole lot of self-compassion.
Cheers to a fresh start and a year full of possibilities. A better, more fruitful, and healthier new year to all of you.